Hey everyone, in today's session we are looking at the prepositions of transportation. We have three prepositions to use when talking about transportation: by, in, on. Out of which the preposition by is the most straightforward and simple one to use. When you talk about getting from one place to another, you can always use the preposition by. It does not matter what mode of transport you use. What I meant is the preposition by goes with every form of transport. You can say by car, bus, train, and so on. But that's not the case with the other two prepositions, in and on. They are a bit confusing to most people. To clear the confusion, here is a breakdown of the differences between in and on when referring to transportation. In is the preposition to be used with vehicles like cars, trucks, helicopters, or small boats. The reason is this: you got to crouch down while getting inside these vehicles, and also you need to sit immediately on entering. The preposition on is to be used usually for larger vehicles like bus, train, plane, ship, and so on. The reason is you can just walk to your seat in these vehicles and also freely stand or walk around inside these vehicles. If you keep in mind these two simple points, you will be able to use the correct preposition without making any mistake. There is a table given here showing which preposition to use with what vehicle. As you can see, I have listed vehicles like rowboat and dinghy below the preposition in. Dinghy is a small sailboat and you have to sit down as soon as you get inside. And so is the case with a rowboat as well. So we use the preposition in. In the case of large vehicles like ships, ferries, and yachts, which I have listed below the preposition on, you can freely walk around inside these big vessels. And so we use the preposition on for ships, ferries, and yachts. So when referring to boats, you need to make a distinction between these two. Usually in is the preposition to be used with smaller boats, and on is the one to be used for larger vessels. Now you can see elevator below the preposition in and escalator below the preposition on. For elevator, we use the preposition in since we are riding in a closed cabin. When you look at an escalator, it's slightly different. You're actually standing on a moving surface. And that's the reason we use on an escalator, whereas in an elevator. Now, again, you can see bike, horse, and also skateboard listed below the preposition on. See, we can sit on top of a bike or a horse. We are not sitting inside this, okay? So we use the preposition on a bike, on a horse. Similarly, we stand on top of a skateboard. So we use the preposition on a skateboard. This list is fairly exhaustive. If you memorize this table, you will never make any mistake in the preposition in and on when referring to transportation. Now let's move to the last part of the video, which is a short quiz to test your understanding of whatever has been discussed so far. The quiz will also throw light on a few exceptional points not covered by the basic points discussed. Here is a short quiz of 10 questions. Take 5 seconds for each question. Each question will be followed by a short explanation on the use of the relevant preposition used. Question number 1. We spent an hour flying a helicopter over the Grand Canyon. Here the correct preposition is in. We spent an hour flying in a helicopter over the Grand Canyon. As discussed before, you can't freely move around or stand in a helicopter. So we use the preposition in. Question number 2. I am riding the back of his bike. For a bike, as mentioned before, the preposition to be used is on. Question number 3. He helped me get the horse. We have arrived, so let's get the car. As you can see, there are two sentences and two blank spaces here. The options are from, of, out of. Neither is correct. The correct choice is the second one, of, out of. He helped me get off the horse. We have arrived, so let's get out of the car. Here the rule goes like this. Whenever we use the preposition on for getting inside a vehicle, while coming out of it, we use the preposition off. We say getting on a horse. So when dismount a horse, we need to use the preposition off. In the case of a car, we get in a car. So while getting outside, we use the preposition out of. We got the escalator at the ground floor and got at the first floor. The options are off, on, off, on, out of. The correct answer is on, off. So the correct sentence is we got on the escalator at the ground floor and got off at the first floor. For an escalator, we have already seen the preposition to be used is on. And whenever we use on for any vehicle in general, while coming out of it, we use the preposition off. Question number 5. I got the elevator at the third floor. The correct preposition is on. I got on the elevator at the third floor. Here, one important point is to be noted. While getting inside an elevator, we use the preposition on. Whereas once you are inside the elevator, we use the preposition in. So we say, I am in the elevator. Whereas I got on the elevator. You may use the preposition into in place of on. So you can say, I got into the elevator at the third floor. We traveled across Europe rail. The options are by, on, in. The correct option is by. So the sentence is we traveled across Europe by rail. By is the preposition to be used when talking about the general method of transport. Here it is not the mode of transport, or the reference is not to a vehicle used, but it is the way you are traveling. So in such cases, we use the preposition by. Question number 7. The tram runs rails in the street. The options are in, on, by. Here, unlike the previous sentence, the reference is not to any method of transport. It's about the physical contact between the tram and the rails. So we use the preposition on. And the correct sentence is the tram runs on rails in the street. You may note that the word rail is almost always used in the plural form, rails, in this context. Question number 8. I have been the road for 10 hours. The prepositions are in, on, by. The correct option is on. I have been on the road for 10 hours. Here the meaning is you are currently on a trip. That's all. We are not using any vehicle here in this sentence. It's just a road. And to bring out the meaning, we are currently on a trip, we use the preposition on. Question number 9. Are you going to London? air, or sea? The options are by, on, by. The last one is the correct choice. By. And the sentence is, are you going to London by air or by sea? See, like I mentioned before, when talking about the general method of transport, see, it could be rail, air, sea. In all these cases, we invariably use the preposition by. And that is the reason for the use of the preposition by in this sentence. Question number 10. There are lots of airplanes, the air right now. The options are in, on, by. Here the reference is to physical location of the planes. So we use the preposition in. And the correct sentence is, there are lots of airplanes in the air right now. Please do let me know your score in the comments below. If you got all the answers right, your performance is excellent. If there are a couple of mistakes, don't worry. I recommend you watch the video from the beginning again and correct your mistakes. If you feel you've learned something from this video, don't forget to share and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get notifications of my other videos. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.